Hi guys, welcome to Goal Rush. Um, so I got a little fun episode for you today. So we're gonna talk. Obviously, we're gonna talk about some soccer news. We're gonna talk some retirement, um, changing of teams, and just kind of being cut from a team. Obviously, on a lot of things that have happened, and I'm gonna kind of go in WSL. The WSL season is their preseason is back, so got some things to talk about. Super exciting. Uh, so to start off with some soccer news, obviously last week we talked to Sam Ewis, um, in her retirement, um, and just because her knee can no longer take the high impact of elite soccer anymore, which is really sad. And obviously we kind of talked a little bit about injury. And then, obviously, for Portland, I've seen that the Timbers have signed some new players. I haven't seen a whole hell of a lot, but the Thorns, they've had they've had Christine Sinclair, who signed a 1-year contract with the club, which is most likely, I'm 100% sure that this is going to be her last year playing. She retired from the Canadian national team, so I imagine it's going to be her last year playing. And then obviously you had Becky Salburn do the same thing, where she signed a 1-year contract again with the team. Now I'm not 100% sure, kind of what that means, because you don't really see as many 1-year contracts. You see kind of I usually have, a lot of them I've seen are 2 or 3 contracts. So I'm not 100% sure what that means in terms of that. I don't know if that means she's gonna after this contract expires in 2024, she's gonna retire kind of like some others have, or if she's gonna go play somewhere else. I do kind of want to talk to them a little bit different about that. And then I've seen, I think Megan Klingenberg did the same thing. Again, I'm not 100% sure what that means. All 3 of them have been playing in the league for a while, so they may be thinking about retirement, life after soccer. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but let's go in with that. I have seen reports of Jessie Fleming coming to Portland, which would be really exciting. I have not heard as much about her since she played at UCLA. So that would be really exciting. I have not seen a done deal yet, so then obviously they've had some trades as well, and I also read that someone took a 63 million stake in the ownership of the Thorns. I didn't read that full article, but that popped up on my phone this morning. So yeah. So to kind of get into topic here, so kind of in retirement, talking about retirement, changing of teams, and being cut. Something that I feel like a lot of people have been having to deal with. And yes, I got my handy dandy book here. But we'll talk injuries, all that. So, kind of go in for one, obviously with Sam Ewis, she had her injury that I swear she said happened in 2017. And she was told, if you if you overdo it, it's going to happen again, and this time we may not be able to fix it. So, which inevitably is what happened. And to be honest, especially in that early times of 2017, so relatively lately, obviously you hadn't seen with the women's teams, and kind of what you're still seeing is overplaying and being forced to have to overplay. Because I remember when I started watching like women's soccer back in, actually probably around 2017, I remember teams saying they had to, like, I remember some players would finish their NWSL season and then go to Australia and play in Australia just so they could get games in. They would go on loan. Like, you don't really see that anymore. But I remember they would go to Australia and play in Australia. So, obviously, like, times have kind of changed now where you can kind of go go anywhere and play, which is, obviously shows the growth. But like I remember thinking at the time, I was like, how can those girls do that and not take their off season? But like now kind of realizing they kind of weren't able to. And I remember around that same time reading a post from, I think her name was EJ Proctor. She was like a goalkeeper at Duke. And she got drafted at the time by Utah Royals. And she goes, I remember seeing at practice, like girls racing up to a second job. But, they didn't make as much. So I guess in a sense they had to go play somewhere else so that they could make the money and so they could, survive in those few months. Because especially when you go with teams, not all players like buy houses. And I believe it's the same for the men's. Not all players buy houses to when they're playing for their team. By what I've heard, teams like provide housing unless you like are from there. Or at least it used to be, unless you were from there or you were like, you had a house there. So, yeah. But I also read with like injuries as well. You had Kristen Press, who is like recently just had another knee surgery for a torn ACL. And, obviously there have been setbacks that no one was expecting. But I do know, like, with, like, ACLs and as of recently, especially before the Women's World Cup, a lot of, top name players were being injured. So, obviously they looked into that. And a lot of it has to do with overwork. And especially when you overwork something, you are more likely to get injured. I learned that from experience. So yeah, we kind of talked like retirement, and I'm hoping that doesn't have to happen with Kristen Press, and I'm pretty sure it won't. I'm not 100% sure, but. And then the last thing I kind of want to touch on, because I saw this, like Simone Charley from she played for Angel City. Obviously you've been seeing a lot of the, like, thank you for, you're always a part of the family. I'm not 100% sure if she got cut or, just kind of was waived by the team. She may have been waived by the team, which happens sometimes. But sometimes it is hard being cut from a team. And told you're not good enough. I don't, know in the professional sense how that feels, but, sometimes being cut from a team means you can go find a better team and actually get more playing time. And sometimes that's why, trades are good, too, because you get more, playing time. But I always say to someone, if someone says you are not good enough, do not listen to them. You are enough. And it goes for anything, but for team-wise. And I remember hearing this for the U.S. women's national team. Sometimes it's just a coach's opinion, and you don't fit their opinion. So yeah, I'm gonna end today by doing a I hate when my computer does this. By sharing this with you guys, although I didn't do this. I forgot to do this. Hang on. Count? No. There it is. Sorry, I clicked for the wrong button. But yeah, this here is our voicemail page. Obviously, you have it at Gold Rush. If there are any problems, please feel free to DM us, or you can leave a comment below on this video. So yeah, feel free to reach out. I've been having website problems as of late, so I'm working on website shifts too. I'm even doing it for business. So if there are any problems with this, let me know, and we'll get to the bottom of them. But I do hope you guys enjoyed this episode today. And until next week, peace.